Yadai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yada, dai, yada, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yada, dai, yada, dai. Yadai, dai, dai, dai. Yada, dai, yada, dai. Yadai, dai, dai, dai. Yada, dai, dai, dai. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Again, welcome. It's really nice of you to come back after being here so many times for so many hours. But we continue with our holidays. So most of us started at the Sukkah as we shook the lulav and the etrog and bless the candles and the wine there as we normally do. This is my 20th Sukkot and the first time that it was nice being in the Sukkah. Normally it's hot, it's humid, it's buggy, and everyone just wants to get out of there into the air-conditioned sanctuary. But we are lucky this season. Let's continue with Shalom Aleichem.
able, please rise. Turn to face the entrance of the sanctuary to the final verse of Lecha Dodi. Boi v'shalom ha'teret bala gam v'simcha uv'tzola toch emunei yom segula boi chala Lecha Dodi Shabbat, nekabela.
Oh, we start with the big... No. Is there anyone here who would like to mention something good that happened to you in the past week? Carol.
Okay, I thank God that I'm here, but I thank God I was in the hospital over all the high holidays, and the live stream with Jackie, with the musicians, with the singing. I was doing it all by myself, and it just was the most wonderful thing. So we are all so lucky to have you.
Thank you. And it's an amazing thing that we made the investment years ago, before the pandemic, because we thought that people may want to watch services remotely, especially when this is the only way to do it. And we're really grateful that you're here. Last Friday in the hospital and now here. That's wonderful. Your grandson got married. Mazel tov. You're grateful that the hurricane did not smash any of us. Thank you. It did not smash any of us, but some of our friends, their homes got smashed. And some relatives apparently got smashed. Yeah. But we didn't, thank you. The lights are still not working well since. No, seriously. It will take a few weeks. Sinwar was eliminated, but I would not mention that as a good thing to thank God for. No, it's really interesting because Jews, unlike Christians, don't have the mitzvah, the commandment, you shall love your enemy. You shall love your neighbor, you shall love God, you shall love the stranger. When it comes to the enemy, not really, we don't have anything explicit, but there's so many stories in the Talmud when people rejoice at the death of their enemies, and God said, don't do it, because everyone is my child. So to come to me and say, well, I'm so happy that one of your children is dead, no matter how awful this sinner was, and he was one of the worst people of this century, officially we have this tension. So that's why I'm sure that personally each one of us was happy to wake up and read in the papers that he is no more, but to make it an official synagogue blessing, thank you for that. I was hoping that somebody would do it because, it's huge tension that Jews always struggled with. You know, what are you doing, really? It's a human being, but what kind of a human being? Anyone else? I ruined the mood. Oh, Alva, thank you, because
It is.
you should keep singing, Marcy. Some nice pictures. Yeah, we had a lot of Sukkot already. Oh, and sushi in the sukkah, which is an important tradition. Oh, it's interesting. We went from the back. Nothing. So let's thank God, especially on Sukkot. If you're able, please rise for Baruch Hu. And it would be nice if you can turn to the people next to you, behind you, across the aisle from you, and wish them Shabbat Shalom and Happy Sukkot. Moadim L'Simcha.
Start a little lower. Yelai, lai, 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 lai. Yelai, lai, lai, lai. Yelai, lai, lai, lai. Yelai, lai, lai, lai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam.
So Sukkah is one of the most difficult things really to appreciate. Because we have a nice Sukkah, right? Probably the nicest we've ever had, but it's so flimsy nonetheless. The schach, the top, cannot really help us. It's not a full, real cover from anything. And probably that's the purpose of it, because when we're in a Sukkah, we feel that we're so vulnerable. The only protection can come from God. And with all the hurricanes that you mention, even when we live in really sturdy homes that we think are foolproof, apparently nothing is foolproof. I would like to ask you to close your eyes for a moment and try to feel really vulnerable as we stand before God or as we talk to God. Just the way we're in a sukkah, exposed, unprotected. Only us and God. Tell God anything. Ask any question. Or just ask that this sukkah will be Sukkah Shalom, a shelter of peace and safety, of protection and God's love. And let's say the words of Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai
together. Shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home, when you are away. When you lie down, when you get up.
Bind them as a sign in your hand. Let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember and do all of my commandments and be holy for your God. I am Adonai your God, who led you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel.
and for your name's sake be our help.
Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol
So today I want to share with you one of my favorite Sukkot stories. Initially, I wanted just to tell it to you, something that would have taken about 5 minutes, but I'm going to read it because some of the details are just too beautiful to miss. It was written probably in the 1930s, 1940s by Abraham Rising, who was a Yiddish poet and Yiddish writer, and he had some beautiful stories. It was written in Yiddish originally and was translated, in Yiddish and translated to English. So bear with me, it's going to take 8 minutes and 39 seconds. It's a little bit too long to read the story, but it's just too beautiful. Antosh cracked his whip and urged his ancient horse along. It was almost noon, and he was only on the outskirts of the town. But the poor horse just plodded along. Antosh lifted his whip again. "Please, move!" The horse whined, and it seemed that even she was laughing at Antosh. But what could he expect? Everyone else whom he passed on the road had laughed. Everyone. What could be wrong? It had all begun when autumn came. The days in Eastern Europe were getting shorter and the nights longer. Antosh, a peasant living in a small village, would have liked to light a lamp in the evening, but the kerosene jug was empty, and he had no money. His supply of salt was also running very low, and he only had a very small piece of soap left. There was not a tea leaf in the pot, nor a pinch of snuff in the jar. "It is bad," said Antosh, talking to himself. "No salt, no tobacco, no soap, nothing." And Antosh had no way of earning money. He had only one hope: to load his wagon with green branches that the Jews used to cover their Sukkot, take it into town and sell it. Right after Rosh Hashanah, he began to pester the only Jew who lived in his village. "When will you celebrate Sukkot?" he used to ask every day. And each time the Jew would answer, "It is a long way off yet." "But when?" Antosh would insist. One day the Jew, to stop Antosh pestering, answered, "1 week from today." Actually, it was only 5 days to Sukkot, but Antosh did not know this and planned to come to town with his merchandise when he thought it was 2 days before the holiday. This was, of course, the first day of Sukkot. That day, Antosh rose early. He chopped his sleepy, half-starved horse, took his axe, and drove into the forest. He began to cut branches and put them into the wagon. He chose the longer and thicker branches. "Good merchandise sells better," he thought. The load continued to grow, and at last the wagon was full. Now Antosh drove slowly, and as he drove, he was thinking of the soap, tobacco, flour, and other things he would be able to buy with the money he earned from the sale of his merchandise. When he reached the outskirts of the town and saw that the festival of Sukkot were covered, his heart skipped a beat and his head began to whirl. He steadied himself and thought, "It is the same every year. Some Jews covered their Sukkot early and others late." He rode on. 2 women were standing in front of a house. They were pointing at him and laughing. "Why are you laughing?" Antosh asked angrily. "Because you brought the branches so early," they mocked. "What do you mean early?" Antosh asked, not understanding why they made fun of him. He was answered by peals of laughter. Antosh spat angrily and rode on, thinking to himself, "How can it be? If I counted right, 2 days before the holiday." He broke out in a cold sweat because it occurred to him that he might have lost count of the days. He was too late, certainly too late. All the Sukkot were covered. He would have no salt, no tobacco. Sadly, he drove on. At last, he reached the village square. "I have green wigs and branches for your Sukkot," he called. "Who will buy roof covering from Antosh?" His voice echoed back. Except of a goat or two along the road, the square was deserted. And then, suddenly, the big door of the synagogue in the center of town swung open and the men started pouring out. Jews in well-brushed black coats and fur-trimmed hats, little boys whose side curls had barely begun to grow, and they seemed to be heading toward Antosh. Here they were. Now he could sell his wares. He cried, "Here is Antosh, the wood chopper, with twigs for your Sukkot. I have branches, I have..." Antosh stopped. The crowd had surrounded Antosh and his wagon. "Thank you for coming," said one. "Only you are a little late, 1 little day late. Can't you see that it is already Sukkot, that today is the holiday itself?" "Everyone's Sukkah is already covered," said another. But Antosh, confused by his misfortune, cried, Buy! I need salt, I need tobacco, I need soap." The crowd around the peasant stopped laughing. Even Antosh grew silent. He lowered his head in misery and shame. No use standing here like the big oaf he was. Might as well go home and eat his twigs. The people looked at the poor, hungry peasant, saw his worried face, and felt sorry for him. A poor peasant, it's a pity, one of them said. He had high hopes, and all of a sudden nothing, said another. We ought to buy his green branches, another man suggested. But how can we? It's a holiday today. No salt, nor kerosene, no soap, the peasant continued to cry. Wait a minute, said someone. Listen to me, everybody. The speaker went up on the wagon and announced. I lost my line. So the speaker jumped under the wagon and said to the townspeople, Antosh has worked so hard. He meant well. It's our duty to help him now. And we can help him. We don't have to pay him. He doesn't need money. He needs merchandise, food and kerosene. We cannot let him go away empty-handed. Won't you open your shops and give Antosh what he needs in return for his labors? Everyone was quiet for a moment. Then Jonah the baker said in his deep voice, He's right. I will give Antosh 6 loaves of bread. And Reuben the grocer nodded. I'll throw in 5 cans of kerosene. And David the fishmonger said, I'll give in 7 fish. Then they all chimed in and offered tobacco and barley and rice until Antosh's wagon was filled with all kinds of good things. Antosh had never known such kindness in his life. The peasant was beside himself with joy. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. Slowly he stood up in the wagon. Dear people, he stammered, Antosh cannot make speeches. He can only say he is grateful. He says it now. Antosh is grateful. He sat down. As he was about to drive away, someone gave him a big piece of challah. Here, take it home, he said. Here's another piece, said another one. Then everyone began to bring Antosh challah. He was so confused that he could only murmur over and over, thank you, thank you. Everyone was happy. Mordechai, a jolly Jew who spared nothing in celebrating the holidays, and who had his future son-in-law visiting him, brought out a glass of whiskey for Antosh. L'chaim, here, drink this and farewell, he said. Antosh swallowed the whiskey in one gulp, took a bite of challah and cried out, I'll never forget it, never. Turns out getting ready for Sukkot also means remembering to be ready to help somebody else. It's a gorgeous story. First of all, when we are done, we feel good, right? But it starts with a criticism of the Jewish community. Sukkot is only 5 days after Yom Kippur. So we spend the entire day crying, praying, confessing, promising to be better people, right? And 5 days later, what was the first reaction of the people when they saw the poor peasant? They laughed at him. He was not one of them. He was not educated. He was a poor schlepper. All of a sudden, 5 days, they forgot everything about Yom Kippur. So that's how the story really begins, because we Jews always criticize ourselves, right? It's not only on Yom Kippur. Yeah. We can preach a lot, but when we have an opportunity to make fun of someone, especially somebody who is not from our community, somebody who is not strong, not wise, we make fun. So what changed the whole thing? His crying. When he started to cry, he touched their hearts. And they needed something to turn everything around. So they began with some technical problem because you cannot pay him on Shabbat, on a holiday, right? You're not allowed to use money on a holiday. But if you want to help someone, there is always a solution. If you want to come up with excuses why not helping, there are a million excuses. But if you really want to help someone, there are a million ways to do it. And as the man stood up and said, we can help him, just open your stores and give him gifts. That's permitted on a holiday. All of a sudden, it was contagious, and everyone just wanted to help even more. And such a beautiful lesson, because I think that many of us sometimes when we are in a group, we feel good about ourselves. We feel that we can put someone down who is not part of the circle, part of the tribe. But we shouldn't. And when we have an opportunity to do a mitzvah, to live according to our ideals, according to our prayers, according to our requests of God, well, we must find a way. Shabbat Shalom and happy Sukkot. Sorry? Oh, Mishaberach. If anyone would like to mention the name of a loved one who is ill and in need of healing,
Johnny Kaufman, Wendy Best, and Holly Katz.
Mi sheberach avoteinu kor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
please rise for the closing prayers.
V'hashevota
Ve'hashevota
el levavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim
If you're observing a Yortzeit, please remain standing. As we remember today, Mor Abramowitz, husband of Myrna, Phil Levin, father of Jen, Muriel Ensline, mother of Bob, Siegfried Ensline, father of Bob, Sigmund Rothenberg, father of Susan, Jacob Steinhardt, father of Carrie and Kabi, Benedict Rosner, grandfather of Tracy, Stuart Gilbert, father of John, Howard Goldman, father of Lisa and Bill, Arlene Levitt, grandmother of Tara, Alan Horowitz, brother of Linda, Donald Block, brother of Linda, Esther Mestelman, aunt of Natalie and Mike, Daniel Arturo, grandson of Carol, Marilyn Bridenthal, mother of Mark, Alan Morgenstein, husband of Toby and father of Marcy, Isaac Koretz, father of Lois, Barbara Siegel, sister of Anne, Beatrice White, mother of Barbara, Evelyn Schultz, mother of Alan, Lawrence Brown, father of Marcy, Lawrence Gordon, father of Ruth, Rose Tischler, mother of Paul, Janet Bereznik, mother of Sue, Alyssa Daniel, mother of Lauren, Irving Fiss, father of Honey, Paula Vanovich, mother of Beth, and taken from her family in the past week, remember Marcy Ellman, mother of Jeff. If there are names that I have not mentioned,
My mother, Phyllis Mills.
if your custom is to rise for the Kaddish, please do so. יתגדל ויתקדש מי רבה. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
עושה
שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו Since we already did a Kiddush in the Sukkah, we still want to say L'chaim here, as we all have a tiny cup of grape juice or too sweet wine. And let's raise our cups and say, L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Are there any children here who want to help us with hamotzi? 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 You may be seated. You don't need to stand for. You want to hold it? I'll take that and then. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread.
Our voices
Rise in song to
share it together with everyone. Adon Olam, Asher Malach,
אשר מלך
B'terem Kol,
בטרם כל
Yetzir Nivra, Le'it Nasa,
לעת נשא
בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, ואחרי כיפות הכל, לבדו ימלוך קרא אדון עולם, והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם, אדון עולם,
אדון עולם
אשר מלך,
אשר מלך
בטרם כל,
בטרם כל
יציר נברא, להינשא,
לעת נשא
בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה אדון עולם, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה אדון עולם, אדון עולם,
אדון עולם
אשר מלך,
אשר מלך
בטרם כל,
בטרם כל
יציר נברא, להתנשא,
לעת נשא
בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא ביתי וחי גואלי, בצור חזי וצרה אדון עולם, והוא ניסי ומעלוסי, בנת כוסי ביום נקרא אדון עולם, אדון עולם,
אדון thank you
אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, להתנשא,
לעת נשא
בחפצו
בחפצו
כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, בידו אף כי ברוכי, ועת תישן והעירה אדון עולם, ואם ברוכי ידיעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא אדון עולם.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for the oneg. The watermelon will be either the best that you had or by far the worst. No, it's just either, I don't know. We always try to guess just by knocking on it, and I don't know. But do share their conclusions.
Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.